A journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to Bethlehem Area School District Stadium in Northampton County. Tonight, it's the PIAA Class 3A state semifinals between Scranton Prep and Middletown. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to week number 15 of Friday Night Rivals, and it doesn't get any bigger than this. A trip to Hershey is on the line. Joining me tonight, Jack, former Tunkhannock area coach, Paul Grippy. He'll be on the sidelines and join us shortly. So the last two seasons, these two teams have met on this field. Middletown has beat Scranton Prep, and they went on to the state finals. Tonight is the state semifinals with a trip to Hershey on the line. Is this the year the Cavaliers knock them off?
I hope they do, because Scranton Prep has been working so hard, and they've got such a great program going. Coach Gallagher has these guys tuned up, ready to go. They've been going since August. It's really, Bob, 3 months. Tonight is their 3-month anniversary of their goal that they said they want to get to states, and they've got to get through a tough Middletown team.
Cavaliers will rely on a very good running game, but Ryan Cosgrove, he's been out a couple of weeks with a concussion. He will not be in tonight's game, but Tucker Johnson has stepped right in.
Next man mentality. We keep talking about that week after week after week, and Coach Gallagher, with Tucker, he's stepped in. He's going to get over his 1,000 yards this evening. They're going to be working his legs, Leo's legs also, which I think is going to be a surprise, and also Leo's arms, and the receivers are going to have a big game tonight.
The Blue Raiders also like to run the ball over 300 yards per game, and it starts with their Division I prospect, Jose Lopez.
Jose Lopez is a complete student athlete. And Coach was telling me earlier in the week, that's what he stresses with this program. He's an unbelievable athlete. He makes these cuts that are just like he stops them in their tracks, and he makes kids miss.
Can the Prep Cavaliers stop him tonight?
I think with their 4-4 game plan, I think Coach Gallagher's got something up his sleeve. They like to do a little bit of an unbalanced look, and I know with that 4-4, they'll be able to get pressure. I watched the McDevitt game. Their only loss this year, Middletown's, and that was key, getting some blitzes and getting behind the line.
Well, weather will not be a factor. It's a beautiful night for high school football. Middletown trying to get back to Hershey. Scranton Prep trying to get there for the first time in school history. It's Prep and Middletown next.
Do you know a student or fan of tonight's game? Call them now and tell them they can watch on any computer, tablet, or smartphone wherever they are. Go to fox56.com for a high-quality live stream right now.
Here come the Cavaliers. Their only loss this season to Valley View, followed by Middletown. Their only loss this season to Bishop McDevitt. A spot to Hershey on the line in the 3A semifinals. The third member of our crew, as always, is Paul Grippy. And Paul, this Middletown team is quite impressive.
Yes, they are, Bob. They are 12-1 and ranked number 1 in the state. They've only been ranked number 1 for 1 week, because last week they beat the number 1 team, Conwell-Egan, to get to this point. So you have to say Middletown is the favorite. At least that's the consensus in the state. They're 12-1 from District 3, the Mid-Penn Conference near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, of course. And they come in tonight with 2 wins in a row the last 2 years over the same Scranton Prep team. So Middletown has had the upper hand. Middletown has been to the state finals the last 2 years. They lost both of those games. So, you know, Middletown came into this season thinking, win the state championship or bust. Right now, Scranton Prep is in their way of getting back to Hershey. So Middletown means business tonight, and they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. Bob, Scranton Prep has to play their best game. This Middletown team will be the best team they face this year.
Well, Prep won the toss. They take the ball after the kickoff. We'll see Leo Boyle. Great stats, over 2,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, John.
6'7", 225 pounds, and he can run the ball. Not only can he pass it, 31 touchdowns. That's an amazing year, Bob. He's going to do a great job tonight. Just keep his cool, keep his composure.
Prep gets the ball
tight formation. They'll start at their own 25, and they'll give it to Johnson. That's quite a look to begin, but let's take a look at the Prep offense, brought to you by Toyota. Mitchell Simon this year, 15 carries. He'll be the blocker for Tucker Johnson. Behind them, very good receivers. That was the big question mark coming into this season. Michael Grady, 23 catches, 5 touchdowns. Up front, boy, they've really come together. A bunch of seniors up there. T.J. Holmes, now the center. He was the right tackle to begin this season. Prep comes back out in the I formation. Great hit by Gage Rodabaugh, this 5'10 senior. 93 tackles on the season. Third down on the way.
Gage, he has been their go-to guy, the guy that plugs up that middle. Prep on that first play, they went a really tight formation, and I think Coach Gallagher may just be doing a script to try to see what the formations will be. That time there again, we know that Prep is going to try to establish that run.
Passing situation coming up for Boyle and company. Here comes the blitz. Pushed out and overthrown. Out there trying to hit Grady. He was running downfield. Prep forced to punt. So not the start, I think, if you want it to be the Cavaliers. I think you want to try to establish something, or is he trying to see what they're trying to run?
This is going to be a chess match. Coach Gallagher and his staff have scouted this team. They know this team inside and out, and they were looking for a tendency that they're going to come back to. On that one, the receiver and the quarterback were not on the same page.
Butner into punt, and a first mistake of the game. Butner still trying to get it. If Middletown has it, it is a touchdown. A huge mistake for Scranton Prep, and it's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for the Raiders.
On this snap, you'll see the ball comes up high, it goes over his head, and again, he should have just taken the safety at that point. He was trying to kick it out of bounds. And then, unfortunately, the Middletown Blue Raiders jumped on it for a touchdown.
That was number 9, Adonis Tavares, the big defensive end who gets the touchdown, and that's not the way the Cavaliers wanted to start this game.
Well,
the extra point is up and through by Williams. And Prep will get the ball back now, trailing 7-0 with 10:28 left in the first.
good luck, Scranton Prep, on your road to the state championship. From your friends at Tom Hesser Dealerships.
So we're back in Bethlehem, and not the start. Scranton Prep wanted a bad snap on the punt, and Butner, what should he have done?
He should have just gone jumped right on the ball and gotten the safety for it. Then he would have had to use that great foot he has to punt out. But Bob, when we were on the field, it was slick. So what ended up happening, and the center, again, I used to long snap. I'm sure when he spun the ball to get the laces down, there was a lot of moisture on that ball, and he couldn't get a great grip.
So Greco and Janello back to get the kick for the second time. This will be Janello. He brings it up to the 29, and now that we've seen what Prep has done, let's take a look at some of the impact players that are really going to have big games tonight. Velarde on the defensive side, Greco their leading receiver, and we talk about Butner. Special teams already playing a role.
It's always 1/3 of the game, and again, Alex did everything he could. He was trying. Michael Greco is going to have a big night for the Cavaliers to be successful, to help open up that run game, because that's something that I'm sure the Blue Raiders aren't going to think that they're going to do too much of.
This time Prep comes out and they'll spread them out. Quick toss, trying to get it out to Carter Odell, and Leo Broyle, maybe the jitters, settling in a little bit. Let's take a look at this Blue Raider defense. It gives up 13 points per game. Ethan Miller's on the outside. He's a senior up front. Watch out for Cole Sr. We'll talk about him in the impact players. We saw Raudabaugh, 93 tackles, 16 for a loss this season. And then the secondary, Coach talked about them. Odell Green, who's just a sophomore. They're young. Prep maybe trying to exploit them a little bit if they can.
And that's what they're going to look for.
2 incomplete passes so far for O'Boyle. There you see the front. Not much running room, 2 at best for Tucker Johnson. Let's talk about the matchup you see on the offensive defensive line. Not much push from Prep.
Nah, Prep, again, I'm going to attribute it to right now nerves, and maybe they're just getting a little too anxious. They've just got to go back and settle down. If they play low pad, get underneath, get that leverage game going, they're going to be okay, because that's playing into Middletown's if they stand up because their speed.
3rd and long. Set up a middle screen, and it's dropped by Grady. There was a lot of traffic in there, and here comes that punt team again.
You'll see on this, they're coming in for that slip screen up in the inside. Leo just, ball's there, and if you noticed, the receiver looked, he looked down at his blockers, the defender's coming instead of the ball.
Raudabaugh all over the place so far here early on, number 40. Now, here's the challenge again for the snapper. Better snap, although Butner did slip a little bit. Bryant back to receive. Couple blocks. Taken down quickly. And that's where we will see for the first time tonight the offense for Middletown, and that will be quarterback Scott Ash. 2nd year as a starter. He's thrown for 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's mobile and he has experience, especially against his Prep team.
He does, but the key factor in here, 14 TDs, but 6 interceptions. So again, they rely on Jose Lopez's legs to get this job done. So if Prep can get them to start throwing, I think it's going to play into their favor.
Good field position for Middletown to begin.
Spread formation.
No quarterback in there. He's out on the side. It's Jose Lopez and the Wildcat to begin this one. About 4 yards for the junior. Here's this offense brought to you by Toyota. And we talked about Ventura. Really watch out for Sykes. And Ventura, 11 carries on the year. He's mostly a blocking back. The wide receivers, couple good ones in there, including Joseph, 13 catches and 5 touchdowns on the year. And up front, just 1 junior. They're all seniors. The guy in the middle, Hefner, getting a start tonight.
And number 62, Cole Sr., is a all-state lineman.
Here's Lopez going to work. Little gap, and he's taken down inside Cavalier territory, a gain of 10.
You'll see on this play, both guards are pulling, leading the way, and they've done this all year long. Nothing fancy. They know what they're doing. They're just going to get hat on hat, and they're just going to let Mr. Lopez run the ball.
Good kickoff block by Morgan Billman. TJ Holmes brings them down. But this offense, they are lethal. 38 points on the year, 411 total yards per game.
Speed
Sykes on the jet sweep.
Get up.
Prep has him contained. Can they get him? Keeps going backwards. 3 guys get him, and finally he's ripped down by Mitchell Simon all the way back at the Cavalier 40.
They start with this jet sweep coming across. Richie Sykes getting the ball, and we had number 8, Mitchell Simon, right there for the loss, and he's got, again, we say 11 hats to the ball. Prep did that. They didn't stop. They didn't sit down.
You saw how tough these running backs are to take down.
They don't go down.
3rd and really long
Swing.
for the Raiders. Ash overthrows the receiver, goes incomplete. Trying to hit Joseph over the middle. No flags, and looks like it'll be a punt time for Middletown. Or do they go for it?
Well, I think Coach is going to go for it. Says it's third on the board.
They're down right now. I'm one ahead, Coach.
That's okay. I'm sure Coach Gallagher wishes it was fourth also.
Now it's third. Play action. Over the middle again. Incomplete. Now the Blue Raiders will punt.
This is the situation that the Cavaliers wanted to get the Raiders in. Let's make them throw, because we know if we can stop the run game, that's gonna be their Achilles heel. Two balls, two passes overthrown. But he keeps going to number 22, Chris Joseph. And if the Cavaliers start to get him off the line of scrimmage, hit him, slow him down, that'll mess up their timing.
Avery Williams back. He's the punter. Greco back to receive this kick. It's a high hanging kick. Fair catch at the 30. Well, Cavaliers already 2 3-and-outs. Have not looked too good. Can't get the running game going. What are you doing now?
They're not going to change what they do. There's no reason to panic. It's the first quarter, state semifinal game. So let's just get the nerves. Let's calm down. Let's play Cavalier football. On that last punt, I noticed that Jacob Kenny, number 39 for the Cavaliers, he almost got to the punter.
So this is an offense that averages just over 37 points per game. They really beat up on Montoursville last year. Play action over the middle. Not a well-thrown ball, but it's caught. Bought in by Odell inside Middletown territory. A big game for Scranton Prep.
So you'll see on this play, Prep's offensive line does a nice job. They gives Leo Boyle time. Leo threw a little bit off his back foot. That's why that ball didn't go, but that was a great reception. Those guys got a great field position.
That's a Tom Hesser first down, 33-yard gain. Prep inside Blue Raider territory for the first time tonight. Wasn't a well-thrown ball, but it was effective.
It got what they needed, 33 yards.
Not much room for Tucker Johnson. Good job in Middletown to spread him out.
Brought down by number 22, Chris Joseph. On this play, they're starting to do that RPO. I would like to see Leo continue his fakes out, so that way he's going to have to make that defense play honest.
That Rodaball kid there again on the bottom of that tackle.
That Gage, I'll tell you, when I spoke to Coach earlier in the week, he said that kid is just a spark plug. He just keeps going and going and going.
Grady in motion. Here comes the blitz. Strong arms it down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of Bryce Janello. Maybe a slippery ball, but he had a chance at it.
You'll see that the pressure coming off of here, once Leo declares he's throwing, you'll see there's Gage Rodaball again coming in, and he's done that all season. He just waits a split second to see what they're doing, and he hits the gap.
But you can see what Middletown's doing. They're giving the pressure right up the middle.
Right up the gut. We call that, I used to call that a nosebleed. You're stuffing both A gaps, which is the gap to the right and left of the center.
Well, Boyle, though, with a strong arm, even though he's flushed out of the pocket. Middletown will sit back, but send the outside guys. And the quarterback powers his way up for about 3 yards. So decision time for Terry Gallagher. Do you pin down Middletown and give it to this lethal offense, or do you try to go for it?
On this play, this is what I was hoping to see Leo do. Again, he's a big, strong kid, 6'7", 225 pounds, and he can run. He's just he's a little tentative, but again, it's early first quarter. Cavaliers lining up to.
They're going to punt the ball and try to play field position. Let's see if Butner can gather this in and put it inside the 10.
He has shown a lot of accuracy this year with his foot.
Bryant back to receive. Oh, he gets it off the side of his foot, and not a very good kick at all. So the kicking game hurting Prep right now. Net of only about 17, 14 yards at all. Just 14 yards on that punt.
That's well, it's a net gain of plus 14, but
yep.
I'm sure right now they're having to talk to their center about what's going on out there. Settle down, get on the sideline. You're going to snap until you know, until the next one has to come. Just get rid of the nerves, get rid of it.
Ash, I think, maybe trying to fake them out a little bit. Goes back with Lopez next to him, sidecar. They're going to go to the air. Ash out and complete to Joseph, who's really hard to take down. And gain of 14. And let's take a look now at the Prep defense tonight. They give up only 8 points per game, including 7 last week to Montoursville. Up front, Kropko in there. He's a 5'11 senior, along with TJ Holmes. The linebackers are very active. Jacob Kenny is 101 tackles on the year, 4 of those for a loss. And the secondary, well, Carter Odell, we've seen him already, 2 interceptions on the season. Back to Lopez, caught behind the line of scrimmage by, guess who? Tucker Johnson, the leading tackler.
That's one way the running backs can say hello to each other this evening. On that play, Middletown was in the trips left, open, and they ended up motioning down and then trying to get the Prep defense to go away from the motion.
Prep looks a little confused on the defensive side. Both teams trying to call signals. And I think Terry Gallagher's going to call a timeout. 4:12 left in this first quarter. And it's the special teams of Prep so far that has cost the Cavaliers, giving up that bot snap for a touchdown. But other than that, both offenses haven't really done too much.
No, and the key, I think, Middletown right now, believe it or not, I believe they're trying to establish the pass game. They keep going to number 22, Chris Joseph, their junior out there, who's very, very elusive and hard to bring down. Now, I'm sure Coach Gallagher right now is, okay, look, guys, settle down. They're not doing anything different. Just play Cavalier defense at this point.
Well, Ash last year had 145 yards against this Prep team. So we talked about Prep knowing Middletown, but also the reverse is also true.
Both teams are going to be well prepared. They're well coached. The only thing that's going to be the wild card in this game is if somebody comes out and does a trick play. You know, what did they say on ESPN? The trickery, the trickerification, or, you know, someone's going to do some kind of flea flicker.
Let's see if they go to the 2,000-yard runner. They do. Not much room for Lopez. He still powers his way past the 40, gain of about 5, third and short on the way.
If you notice on this RPO, they're going to block everybody down to our left, and the Prep defense is getting washed, leaving one man cutting back, and that was number 34 for the first hit. He's got to do a better job wrapping up.
Is it one of those we're not going to let Lopez beat us? Or, like, what are you trying to take away if you're the Cavaliers?
They're just going to try to keep everything to a minimum gain. They know he's going to get his yards, but they're going to make him work for it.
And out. Brett Myers, sorry. Brett Myers calls timeout pretty quickly for Middletown. He didn't like something that he saw from the Cavalier defense.
They didn't line up in anything different on the defensive side of the ball. I think Coach didn't like the play that he had called, and he wants to try to exploit something that he saw up in the box. At the last timeout, when Coach Gallagher called timeout, he was on his headset talking, looking up at the press box. So there's something that these guys are going to try to establish right now.
Well, we can tell you that the winner of tonight's game will head to Hershey next Saturday, the 8th, for a noon kickoff. They'll take on Sharon or Aliquippa. Toyota key to the game for Middletown, Coach told me, was out blocking. Explain that.
Out blocking, they want to be able to out block the Prep defense. They know, and Coach Myers talked to me, he's concerned about their size this year. And he wants to be able to out block them, make sure that his guys get that step. on that last play when they went to the left, he wants to make sure that his guys all step left so that they can hook block and seal that down for Lopez.
Middletown trying to get a first down, and they do. Lopez is off, and you won't catch this guy. Jose Lopez, a big play. 59-yard touchdown for Middletown.
You'll see on this play that it's just a cutback for him. You notice that the 71 and 75, Ethan Miller and Morgan Billman built a wall up on that inside, and it opened up for Lopez to do what he does best.
One thing Terry Gallagher did not want was give up those big plays, and they did just that.
On that one,
we'll take a look at it again after the kick by Williams. And again, Lopez doesn't need a lot of room, but once he's out, he's off to the races.
If he sees a glimmer of daylight, he is, Bob, like you said, he is off to the races on that. And again, I really have to give credit to Ethan Miller and Morgan Billman for sealing and then walling off the prep defenders. And it was at the first and second level, and that's when Jose just took off.
Well, that experience for being in 2 state finals, and
you'll see it right there. There's that seal block I was talking about, and that's what Jose is going to be. He's a patient runner. He knows he's going to take that step to the left, but he's going to let his offensive line do that, so it allows him to run.
well, last week against Conwell Egan, he had a career day with 261 yards on 27 carries and 3 touchdowns.
And he had, I believe, 3 carries for 190-some yards in the first half.
He did.
And he is an explosive player, but Conwell Egan did come back, and it was 21-14. And again, take that special teams off, and it's only 7-0.
Yeah.
And Coach Gallagher and the Cavaliers right now, they're not going to be panicking. I know they haven't been down this road where they're behind, but they're a well-prepared team, and they have a lot of discipline.
I think we have offsides against Middletown on the kickoff. They stopped it right as Garza was going to kick it off.
Offsides, kicking team, 5 yards, re-kick.
Dennis Rarick and his crew out of District 11. The officials for tonight's game. So this should help Prep out, at least get them good field position. Last time they had a nice drive. They got inside Middletown territory. Let's see if they can put some points up on the board, though. A roller right to Janello. Oh, no, that's Odell. Sorry. Carter Odell brings it up past the 40-yard line. Here comes Leo Boyle again. And what do you see Middletown doing? Looks like that pressure up the middle. They're trying to force Leo to roll and then throw.
And that's what they want to do. They're going to try to have him run to his left, but Leo, again, is going to his right where wide side field is. What Middletown's done from what I've watched on film is their linebackers will delay a split second once they can declare, and then they go. They find a gap and go to get that extra pressure on.
So Tom Hesser first down for Prep. No gain for Tucker Johnson. The line of scrimmage right now being won by the Raiders.
Well, coach was concerned. I know Coach Middletown's coach was concerned about the size, but his speed of his defensive line is beating the hips of the offensive line, Scranton Prep's offensive line right now. They've got to get off of their heels and start getting on their toes.
Well, I like to tell Coach Myers, his team is pretty big themselves.
They are.
I mean, 220, 265, 245, 245.
I guess when you're
that's pretty big.
Yeah, when you're 6'6", though, and you're always looking down,
that's true.
I'm sure that's his perspective.
Let's see if Johnson can get outside. He gets a little room. Nice cutback, and it's going to be right at midfield, 3rd and short on the way. Best runner of the night for Tucker Johnson.
Again, here we go. Speed sweep coming up. Nice block on the outside with that seal block by number 8, Prep's offense. That would be Mitchell Simon. Gets that seal and allows Johnson to run up to get 8 yards.
Richard Sykes, number 2 on the stop. Prep wants to keep a drive going, keep that Middletown offense on the sidelines. So a big 3rd down on the way. Try the other side, nowhere to go for Tucker Johnson. Terry Gallagher now going to be wondering what his offense has to do. Loses a yard, here comes the punting.
Chris Johnson does a nice job as their right cornerback. He was just sniffing that out, comes flying across. You'll see him coming upfield right there. Wraps both arms around legs.
Let's see if Alec Butner can put a leg into it. He is a very good kicker. He's a 4-sport athlete, is Butner. We have a flag down. This is a much better kick. So let's see what the flag is. The ball went out of bounds up near the 25.
It was a much better snap by Dan Bellardi on that one.
Going to go against Prep.
Coach!
I'm sure they're going to make him kick it again. Just one first down in this first quarter for Scranton Prep.
Decline.
Middletown wants the ball. Why not? You have an offense that can score quickly. They're going to leave them on the field.
One thing I've noticed with Middletown's defense, they are pretty stout up front. They're not quite like 6'4", 6'5" guys, but they're fast and they're strong. And that's given Prep's offensive line a little bit of fits right now.
There's Scott Ash, the senior. Took them to the state final last year. They lost to Quaker Valley. Play action over the middle. And this is Ventura. Still on his feet. Gets a block, finally dragged down by Odell, but a huge gain for Middletown to the 22.
You'll see this, that he just comes right off line. It's a quick hitter. It's that quick slant because there's no one, the way Prep's defense is, there's no one in the middle of the field.
60 yards on that. And if you're caught watching Lopez, that's why Ash had such a big game last year. Still a kid that's thrown for 1,300 yards, Coach.
And like I said, he's a legitimate quarterback.
This time Sykes shoots through, tripped up. Inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. And on that pass play was a Tom Hesser first down for Middletown.
Right tackle Joe Gussler's helmet came off, so he has to come out for a play. And replacing him is number 64.
There's so many weapons for this Middletown team.
You do. Bob, you're right. They have a plethora of ways that they can attack you.
Well, they're on a mission as well. We don't lose 2 state titles and say we're going to go and not even get there. So moving up front, looks like Prep may have moved. Now the Cavaliers, I think, just getting a little too eager.
Encroachment, defense. 5-yard penalty, result in the first down.
That's a Tom Hesser first down for Middletown.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And we're only into the first quarter, 4 seconds left. Middletown,
they're going to let the clock
roll the clock out, and they will do it. Well, the mission is simple for Middletown. Get back to the state finals. Right now, they lead Scranton Prep 14-0 as we head to the second quarter.
All right, second quarter about to get underway here at Bethlehem Area School District Stadium, but we're going to take a break from talking about football, talk about baseball for a minute. I'm joined by Scranton Prep's Noah Granite, and he's a baseball player for the Cavaliers who has signed a letter of intent to play baseball at Princeton. That's a nice program they have there. What made you decide that Princeton was the place you wanted to continue your education and baseball?
Well, you know, it's pretty close in proximity to home, and, you know, education, you know, far before baseball, and, you know, the academic prowess of the school really, you know, attracted me, and I really enjoy the presence of, like, the coach. You know, he's a really nice guy, so I don't know, it was a pretty easy decision.
Yeah, well, Princeton, they don't take slackers in the classroom, that's for sure, but, you know, it wasn't just last week. You've known for a few years Princeton was the place to be. What led up to that? What kind of participation in baseball and conversation with Princeton led up to that?
Well, so I started going to camps there in 8th grade. And, you know, I kind of just, I don't know, the moment I walked on the campus, I knew. And, you know, I kept in contact with the coach throughout 8th grade, freshman year, and into sophomore year. And then in January of my sophomore year, I told the coach that I was ready to verbally commit there.
All right, so that's going to be exciting, but you still have a senior season. How's the prep baseball team going to look in the spring?
We're returning, you know, a lot of starters from last year, so hopefully, you know, we can make a little run at things. I think we got a good shot.
All right, very good. All right, so back on the field now, Prep playing football, Bob. That's Noah Granite from Scranton Prep, and he'll be playing baseball at Princeton over the next 4 years.
Good luck to Noah on the field. 3 downs. He had a fumble in there and a good rush put on by Prep, and it'll be 4th down now inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. I don't see a punter or a kicker in there. Well, I should say Avery Williams is the kicker. I didn't see him put the tee down. Looks like they're good. Nope, they're going to put the tee down. There's a lot of trickery there. So he's going to tee it up about the 13. The kick is up, and the kick is going to be stalled. We had a penalty, I think.
Ball start, offense.
Oh, so this will back them up. Let's see if this changes the plans, because that barely made it through, Coach.
This, I'll tell you what. Prep's defensive stance on this series, while Paul was doing that interview, is tremendous job. Those kids, they said, you know what, first quarter's done, now it's our quarter. It's our time.
Back him up 5. There you see, placing at the 22, 32-yard kick for Williams, the senior. Kick is up and well to the right, so win by Prep. Let's see now if this can trigger their offense, as they'll get the ball back, and the field goal is no good.
On that 3rd down play that the Blue Raiders were running, they tried doing a naked bootleg with the quarterback, and again, what Prep wants to do is try to get him to throw. Now, I mean, they're just at the point now. Right now, Prep's going to, I think, going to try to establish their run, and Leo Boyle's going to have to do a little bit with his feet.
So this Tom Hesser 1st down will take place at the 20-yard line. Tucker Johnson, not much positive running tonight at all. To a Boyle to go, nice quick out to Greco. Positive gain, 7 yards.
That's a great 1st down play, just a quick out. And that's one thing that I've noticed watching film. Middletown is a little susceptible to those short plays. And you'll see on here, Leo Boom, not even a fake with the run block. The running back was back there to protect. That was a good pitch and catch right there.
Joseph on the tackle. Big gap for Odell. It's a Tom Hesser 1st down past the 33.
On that play, Prep lined up in their what we would call shotgun with both backs to either side. So now you got a run-pass threat, and they did a nice job with the cross block in there. Cross block is what we would call that. Fullback went first without getting, he faked, and then give the ball to the tailback.
Haven't seen much of Carter Odell running the ball a lot this season, but he's had a couple good stops in there tonight. Quick out to Grady. It's another Tom Hesser 1st down, pick up of 12, Prep on the move.
Just a 3-step drop on that. And again, you'll see Leo, good technique,
First down and 10.
Even though Leo didn't take 3 steps, that was what we would call that, just because he's just going to get that ball back and get rid of it as quick as he can.
Another Tom Hesser first down for the Cavaliers. Getting a little momentum now after that defensive stop. Middletown up the middle to blitz. Running room for Odell. Tripped at the 50, gain of 7.
Odell on the carry. Tripped up by Joseph.
He had a nice hole there. If he didn't get tripped up, he'd still be running. Well, maybe
He
not.
would. Wow. On this play, again, they go with that shotgun with both backs. And now watch, who are they going to be keying most of this game? They're going to be looking at Tucker, so that's where they went to. And that's a really great call, giving it to Odell. And that offensive line did a great job sealing that off.
Coach Myers doesn't like something. He's going to call his second timeout
Middletown.
already. So Middletown on the other heels a little bit on this offensive series from Prep. And really, if it wasn't for mistakes for Prep, that first one being the punt,
Right.
Lopez is going to have a big game. He's going to do
You
something.
know that.
right?
That's what he's done all year.
So you're right. It's just 7-0. So now if the offense can get something momentum going and get it back on their sides, Prep's going to be okay.
Bob, how many first downs do they have now in this second quarter?
3.
And they only had 1.
One.
So they're settling in. They again, I think it was the chess match, and I think Coach Gallagher may have scripted those first couple plays to see what's going to happen, as opposed to gaming it. Now they're in the game mode, and you can see that they're being successful.
Well, Billy Pasqualiccio and Brian Groom, Dan McShaffrey, Jason Tallow, and Ryan Jones helping out. I mean, Terry Gallagher mostly focuses on, he's a defensive guy.
Yeah,
Late
linebacker,
defense.
very good linebacker.
You know, so the offense is going through Pasqualiccio.
I coached, I believe it was with his brother down at Misericordia.
So after the Middletown Keystone timeout, Prep back on the field. Johnson pulls it down. He's tripped up by Joseph, but another Tom Hesser first down
Johnson on the carry.
for Prep. Gain of about 4.
Tackled by Joseph.
On this play, again, they're
Gain of
just
4
going to
yards.
now. Okay, are they
First
going
down and
to
10,
Odell
Scranton
or are they going to Tucker? So now it's
Middletown,
a
46-yard line.
mismatch of what they want to do.
Oh, Boyle also has the option maybe to pull it back and throw something, right?
I
Haven't
think
seen
that's
the
what
tight
they-
end yet.
We have not, and I think that's what they're going to set up. And also, I'm leaning on Leo's legs tonight.
Johnson at the line of
Johnson on the
scrimmage
carry.
falls forward for about 2. Great, good tackle in there by Cole Sr. And boy, talk about him. He's an all-state lineman,
Tackle by
but also
Miller.
70 tackles, 27 of those for a loss. Like number 62.
62 is, I mean, he is a good football player. You don't make
Gain of 2
All-State
yards.
just by being a cheerleader.
Second
He
down,
gets
8.
it done. He's in the trenches, and he's always working. His motor doesn't stop.
Straight pass, good protection. Tipped, and then brought in by Greco. Great concentration by
Boyle's pass is deflected.
Greco, who pulls
Leo-
it in.
To Greco.
Leo O'Boyle on the rollout to his right.
Gain of
Does a
11
nice job
yards.
setting up.
First down and 10, Scranton Prep.
Ball gets tipped, and
Middletown,
sometimes it's better to
33-yard
be
line.
lucky than good. And on this one, that's great concentration on Mitchell Greco right there to come back to the ball and make that reception. Oh, excuse me, it's Michael. Michael Greco on that reception.
Little luck there. They spread him out again. Odell picking up some blocks.
Boyle's pass is
Inside the
going to
30
Odell.
to about the 28. Ridden down by Ethan Miller.
There's that swing pass. They did that in the first quarter on the first series. And again,
Tackle by
nerves,
Miller.
Leo threw it over his head, but this one they connected.
Gain of 5 yards.
Looks like he got a little banged up
Second
on
down,
this one.
5.
There it is, right there. He led the ball right out in front of him. Brought down by number 77. Or 71, excuse
Yeah,
me.
Miller. Prep looking a lot better on this drive than they have all game. Now they show the I formation. Johnson tripped up again,
Johnson on the
couple
carry.
on that, 3rd down on the way.
Tripped up by Radabaugh.
On that play, they ran a little bit of an ISO play, which is the fullback leading for the tailback. And they, again,
1 yard.
they're getting those little 3 and 4 yard. And again, Woody Hayes style, if anybody remembers who Woody was, a cloud of dust, baby. That's what they're trying to do. They'll take 3 and 4 yards at a clip.
Johnson couldn't escape the tackle of Joseph. He
Johnson on the
loses
carry.
2.
Tackle by Joseph.
If you look, they're starting
1 yard.
on this play. There it is, just an off-tackle zone.
and 5.
That's that RPO we talk about. But on that play, Middletown's defense was crowding the line of scrimmage, so really there wasn't too much room for him to run.
Surprised they didn't go to play action on that, quite frankly. Here, he set him up with the run. Now you have 4th down for Prep. Tight formation again. Look for the heat. Here comes Middletown. Boyle, no flag,
Boyle's
as
pass.
it looked
Then
like
Janello
Sykes was
incomplete.
all over Janello.
Scranton Prep turns the ball over on downs.
I think at this stage of the game, well, here we go. He's got time. Ball's good ball. He was there. He was all over him, but they're going to let these guys play. And the officials really aren't going to listen to too many pleas from the players.
So the Middletown defense
First down and
holds.
10, Middletown.
But that was a good drive
From their own
for
28-yard line.
Prep to establish this themselves, to say, look, we can move the ball. We got plenty of first downs. Now let's punch it in.
So the Raider offense back out at the 27. Again, the fake, and this one knocked down by Bellardi.
Ash's
Almost
pass
had a chance for a pick.
is deflected by Bellardi.
They were setting up what they do all year with that sweep action by
Second
pulling
down
both guards.
and
They
10.
send Lopez out here to the left on the fake, and they were looking for the tight end. And Bellardi get those big arms up, and he blocked it. Nowhere to throw.
He does have an interception this year.
As a defensive lineman, that's a dream.
Lopez, fake to him. They're going to swing it out for Sykes. Sykes with really good speed. Flag comes in
Ash's pass is linked to skies.
after the gain. Let's see what the flag is.
There is a flag on the play.
Ball's at the 35.
Hold.
Holding.
Where's the hold from?
Hold against Middletown, and I maybe saw some holding on Grady out there. Maybe that's what they call, because looked like the back judge called it.
Usually when the back judge is calling it, that's something
Something
that
in the
happens to the linebacker getting hooked.
Holding.
So
Called against Middletown.
Prep will accept this one.
10-yard penalty
So
for
remain
first
second down.
Second down and 13.
This time, Ash moving all over the place. Four wideouts in there, and Lopez in the backfield. They're going to go to the air again. Ash unable to get it out to Joseph.
And I said it earlier, Bob, and I'll say it again. They want to force Scott Ash to throw the ball.
Ash's pass
Not that
is
he's a
Ryan is
good
incomplete.
quarterback. He's got 14 touchdowns this year, but he also has those 6 interceptions. The play on the penalty, they ended up doing that,
and 13.
doing a real quick screen, the outside screen.
See now Prep plays this one. They'll send the pressure or give Ash time to throw. Lopez hasn't touched the ball in a while. He will on 3rd and long. And Prep right there
Lopez on the carry.
gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and here comes the punt team for the Raiders.
Tackle by Bellardi.
Brought down by Kenny and Bellardi on that one for
Gain of 4
Scranton
yards.
Prep.
4th down and 9. Williams In punt formation for Middletown.
So unlike the
Greco.
first quarter where it
Team
seemed like we had a
for
lot of
Scranton Prep.
possessions, Prep has put a nice drive together. They've held Middletown now
Well,
down
they-
a little bit. Williams, the pooch kick. And it will be right about the 33. 3:52 left.
Down.
Still 14-0 Middletown.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Keystone College. With over 40 options, small class sizes, and Division III athletics, plus football. You can believe, belong, become.
We are back in Bethlehem Area School District Stadium. Bob I, Jan Cechek, Paul Grippy. It's the PIAA 3A semifinals. Prep and Middletown. No score in the second quarter. All the scoring happened in the first. So on this Tom Hesser first down, quarterback to quarterback, and unfortunately Patty Grady lost it. I think he might have thrown the ball. He's the backup quarterback. So maybe you talk about that trickery. And now Prep trying to do something to get in the scoring column. They bring in the backup quarterback, and he dropped the ball.
Again, Leo led. It was a bad ball, and then
4 yards.
he led him a little bit too much, and then he
Second
didn't really
down
have
and
possession.
14.
But it was a forward pass. It wasn't behind the line, so that's why the play was in.
No,
No, it was.
No, they're going to
No,
say
they
they're going to
said
say it was a lateral. I'm not sure about that.
I thought it was.
I thought it was an incomplete pass.
I did too.
Well, we'll go down as a lateral, and it'll be a loss of 4. And they go back to the ground game again, nowhere to go. Miller there on the tackle and on Johnson.
On the carry.
So 3rd and long now facing Prep.
Tackle by Miller. No gain. 3rd down and 14.
On that last play, Brendan Colleran, he's got to do a better job sealing that edge because his outside linebacker put the pressure and beat him to the inside.
Let's see if Middletown will bring the heat. Really haven't seen much thrown downfield for Leo O'Boyle. He does have a strong arm.
And he has to have time to do it, and there's the pressure you talked about, Bob.
O'Boyle with time and couldn't get rid of the ball. Taken down for a sack by number 4,
Boyle is tackled in the
Odell
backfield
Green.
by Green.
So the safety comes up on the blitz, a loss of 3, and here comes the punt team.
You see the pressure coming from inside, outside, and he just ends up wrapping Leo O'Boyle up by his ankles.
Well, that looked more like the first quarter series more than what Prep has shown in the second.
Prep. Bryant, deep to receive for Middletown.
Not a very good snap, but Butner gets it off the side of his foot. Not a good kick at all, but luckily for Prep, it takes a roll. Middletown will have excellent field position at the Cavalier 45-yard line. Well, that's a kick of only 20
First
yards,
down
and
and 10, Middletown.
the Prep punter having problems tonight.
Good luck, Scranton Prep, on your road to the state championship. From your friends at Tom Hesser Dealerships.
So Tom has her first down now for the Raiders. Prep's challenge here, keep them off the scoreboard before the half. Lopez, couple of guys there, and Michael Grady finally brings them down. Gain of about 2. Again, Middletown only has 1 timeout left.
Jacob Kenny on this play, linebacker for Scranton Prep, was a little high, and those smaller guys from Middletown, when I say smaller, just by an inch, are getting up underneath at the pad level and driving them back.
Single coverage on the outside, too. Prep noted they usually do this all season long. Spread them out a little bit. Lopez stood up. Falls forward for a Tom Hesser first down right at the 45 of Prep.
Right now, it looks like number 5. Number 6. Here we go. On this play, Lopez with their RPO, run pass option, and they end up just running that inside zone, and that he is a strong kid. Bob, you mentioned about how they play the single coverage on the outside. With that 4-4, you are really counting on your secondary and especially your corners that they have to play one-on-one.
Clock is rolling, coming near the minute mark. Play action down the middle again and again. This time they have Sykes. Till the 25, and Tom has their first down for Middletown. Clock will stop.
You'll see Sykes was lined up at the inside slot position. Again, that middle of the field, that safety's bailing because he doesn't want to get beat deep, but it's opening it up.
This time over the middle, and Sykes is there, wide open. It's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for Middletown. Definitely a breakdown there somewhere in the secondary.
With that formation that they ran on this, again, they like it because they have a mismatch with the linebacker on, that would be Tucker. Yep. Tucker Johnson mismatch, or either that or it was a blown coverage to allow Richie Sykes get that touchdown.
3 plays, 55 yards. Just about a minute off the clock, if that. All through the air. Williams the kick, and it is through, and Middletown now ups their lead to 21-0 over Scranton Prep. Well, adjustment's going to have to be made. Middletown gets the ball to begin the third quarter.
Well, I think, Prep was trying to keep the ball away from them. When you score with 103, 55 yards on 3 plays, that's a tall challenge for them right now. On that last play, that last touchdown play, again, Scott Ash does a great job. He has great protection, and again, they like that middle of the field. There's no one playing there. So they're going to keep picking on it until it gets stopped.
Prep, meantime, had that one drive, and then it stalled out right around the Manuka Subaru red zone. You have to go to the air more. Your running game is really non-existent.
They've had a couple good runs.
Now in the second half?
They're going to have to. Being down now 21-0 semifinal game, they don't want to end their season on this note. They want to come out and show what Northeast Pennsylvania football can and should be doing.
Well, it's eerily similar to the last 2 seasons these 2 teams have met, where Middletown has pretty much dominated them. Last year they were shut out. The year before they only scored 7 points to Prep, dude. So, over those years, Middletown has put up almost near 100 on this team. So Odell back to receive with Janello this time.
He's been kicking to about the 14-yard line.
They're just going to pooch this one. And it'll go out of bounds. Prep will have good field position. Now, Prep does have all 2 of their timeouts left. So they still have an opportunity maybe to do something, starting out with good field position. You don't want to press it, but you want to see what you can get on first down?
I would. You have to. Go for it.
What are you going to lose?
Yeah, 57 seconds now. Is Coach Gallagher going to take the ball? Or is he going to have him re-kick? Nope, he's taking it.
So at their own 35, Cavaliers have it. I'd like to see him throw downfield a couple times to see where you can get, if anything.
Bob, you're very familiar with the Prep team. What type of speed do they have from their outside guys? Would you know that?
They're not the fastest team, but they do have good receivers, and it looks like they're just going to run it out. They run it up through. Johnson with a nice gain, and I think he's going to be banged up a little bit. He's a tough kid, though. Gain of 6.
They just ran an ISO play on the left-hand side, following their big blocks up front of Anthony Kromko and Dan Bellardi.
Tucker Johnson is going to go out. Again, he plays both sides of the ball. I'm a little surprised the Cavaliers aren't going to try to throw the ball downfield, but knowing Terry Gallagher is very conservative. Go in and regroup. Ben Jones now tipping the eye. Ben Jones shoots through for a Tom Hesser first down near midfield. Let's see now if he called timeout. 13 seconds left.
On this play, again, we're just running ISO, running slot left, ISO.
Nope. Coach Gallagher going to eat those 2 timeouts and head to the locker room.
Well, you can't take them with you, Bob.
That's the end of the first half.
And that will be the end of the first half, a half dominated by the District 3 champions, the team that's been to the state finals the last 2 years, and now Paul Grippy is with coach.
Okay, Coach, at halftime you found yourself in a bit of a hole here. What did you think of your team's play in the first half?
Kids played hard. I thought we did a pretty good job there to that last drive, so just got to clean some stuff up.
A couple of mistakes. Will you talk to them about that at halftime?
Yeah, we will. Hopefully we'll clean it up and we'll have a better second half.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Bob, at halftime, Prep's down by 3 touchdowns.
That they are, something this team has not faced really since a year ago. So coming up at the half, we'll have a report from the Fox 76 News First and 10, and then Jan and I will be back with first half highlights and stats.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Luzerne County Community College, Keystone College, and Manuka Subaru.
Halftime at Bethlehem Area School District Stadium, and it's Middletown leading Scranton Prep 21-0 in the PIAA semifinals. And joining me right now, a cheerleader for the Cavaliers, Miss Bella Paoli, and been cheering hard tonight. How's the cheering been going?
It's good. We're down right now, but the Cavs are going to come back up this half.
You like cheering on cold nights better than warm nights, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got the answer. No, Bella did a very special thing this past summer along with a group of Scranton Prep students. Her senior service project involved a trip to Houston, and if you know anything about Houston, they got hit with a bad hurricane, Hurricane Harvey, a little over a year ago. So when you got down there, what kind of damage did you see lingering over the summer from that hurricane?
So you could see that there was spots where houses used to be, and there was nothing there anymore, and there were like the ground, there was like dirt and like garbage everywhere. So it was like you could tell that these people had a very tough time. And that impacted us greatly to see that.
So you were part of Habitat for Humanity, which is always about building houses. So what kind of project did you work on?
So we actually met a veteran down there, and he has a wife and a little child who was only 2 years old. And so me and my 24 other classmates and our 6 moderators actually started a house from the ground. And we got to the whole floor and the walls. We ended up putting them, and we get sent pictures now, and they just put the roof on, so the house will be done this spring actually.
All right, so you've been in contact with them a little bit since then?
Yeah.
Okay. And how are they doing with their recovery for the family that you helped?
They're doing good. They said it just meant a lot to spend. We spent a lot of time with them in our week, not just with the house. They were there every day with us, so we got to spend some time and get to know them. And they were really grateful for that.
And why was that something that you wanted to do? I mean, that's, summer you could be on a beach doing beach stuff. Why did you decide to do that?
Prep is a Jesuit school, and our message is kind of just to live out service like that. And it was one of the best opportunities of my life, honestly. I wouldn't have picked any vacation or any other thing to go on. It was really the best week of my life.
So what did you get out of it? I mean, what experiences did you have that made you think a little bit differently?
Well, for one, how lucky I am that I have a nice warm house to live in, and I don't have to worry about these problems. And seeing that kind of made me realize it even deeper, that we need to be thankful for everything we have in life.
So as far as you know, how's Houston now? I mean, it's been over a year. Are they mostly recovered, or is there still a lot of problems down there?
I know Habitat for Humanity is really working hard down there. We saw that when we were down there. So I think they're getting better. It's been a year. Definitely they're going to need some work, but I think it's going well.
You think you'll ever get back to Houston?
I hope so.
Okay, so thank you so much. And I mean, not just for your time here tonight, but doing a project like that, that's very generous of you. So congratulations on that. So Bella Paoli from Scranton, a Scranton Prep senior cheerleader, and she just got back from this summer's trip down in Houston. And how the Cavaliers going to do the rest of this game here?
We're going to get back at them.
All right, so looking forward to the good second half. So we'll be back with the third quarter right after this. You're watching MyTV WQMY.
We are back at Bethlehem Area School District Stadium. We're at the half of the PIAA 3A semifinals. It's Middletown leading Scranton Prep 21-0. Back up in the booth, Jan Cechek, bob-eyed, and didn't get off to a good start for Scranton Prep.
No, it did not. It started with a bad snap that led to a touchdown for Middletown's defense or special teams. And then they just have been playing so well, putting pressure on Prep, that they haven't been able to do too much.
No, not at all. So let's take a look at the first half highlights. And it was that punt, bad botch snap, and Alec Butner couldn't pick it up. Probably should have tried to kick that out of bounds or something. And they fall on it. Middletown does, Tavares. And that's how the thing started for Middletown.
Leo O'Boyle on the rollout pass right here. And again, not the best ball in the world, but they got 33 yards to help them in that first quarter to get that's their only first down.
That drive stalled, and then this guy, Jose Lopez, 2,000-yard back. He breaks out on a 59-yard touchdown. That was his biggest run of the half. And that put up the Blue Raiders 14-0. But it was this guy, Ash. Good game last year against them, and a nice game tonight already. Throws this touchdown to Sykes.
Richie Sykes has been open. Lopez has 9 carries for 97 yards, 1 touchdown. Richie Sykes with that touchdown. Again, something a little uncharacteristic, I would say, for Middletown to be trying to establish the pass.
Yeah, absolutely. So 21 plays run by Middletown in that first half, 207 yards overall. Ash, 118 yards through the air. 30 plays for Prep, just 83 yards. Tucker Johnson, who only has 23 yards rushing. Leo Boyle, 65 yards through the air. Talk about this third quarter start for Prep. They have to play defense. They have to stop Middletown. You can't go down 4 touchdowns.
No, not in the state semifinal game or any game. You don't want to be 28 points down on them. What Prep has to do right now, like they did, and they showed they could stop them. They had a couple 3-and-outs on Middletown. So now they've just got to be able to play faster, I'm going to say smaller, because they're got to get their their defensive lineman. That pad level's too high, and that's playing right into Middletown's hand.
So Middletown's gone through the air pretty well with that guy, number 19, but you would think at some point they're going to keep going to Lopez. 23 carries last week against Conwell Egan.
They're going to, they're going to wear Prep's defense down because they've been on the field a long time. Prep in the second quarter, they had a nice 6-minute drive, which kept Middletown's offense off. And I know Coach Gallagher wants to try to do that more often. This half, his offense is going to have to come out with some real quick hitters to get back into this game.
Well, the biggest game since that Valley View game in which they lost, and they played Valley View very tough. Cougars, of course, ending up winning the 4A District 2 title. And, you talked about it in our vlog this week. This Middletown team plays a lot of bigger schools in that Mid-Penn League.
They're a AAA team, and they played 4 Quad A schools and 5 5A schools. So they're used to playing bigger schools. Not so much faster.
No.
Not so much stronger, but just bigger in size and in school population.
So Butner tees it up, and he's got a good leg. Let's see if he can put it into the end zone. I don't think you want to get Lopez getting the ball right at the goal line. Instead, he's going to kick it out of bounds. It'll give Middletown good field position.
Free kick infraction. Ball be placed at the 35.
I don't know if it's a slippery ball or field tonight, but I've seen Butner put it into the end zone. He has a good leg. That one, though, went off the side of his foot, and he's having trouble punting the ball tonight. So I don't know if it's the ball or
a combination, and it starts with the snap. We know that. But the field is slick.
First down and 10, Middletown.
Here comes Ash and that offensive line. Let's see if they try to get it back to Lopez. Oh, give it to Sykes, who's next to him. Richard Sykes shoots through for 5.
Tackled by Grady.
Just running, they're running an outside zone on this. Watch this cut he makes right there. He goes right down the yard line, cuts 90 degrees and up for a good 5-yard gain. That's that unbalanced set we were talking about earlier, Bob.
Prep had Sykes, but it's a Tom Hesser first down. He gets out of 4 tackles. Sykes still on his feet, picks up a block, and he's gone. It's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for Middletown, 60 yards for Richard Sykes. And he did it the hard way.
Sykes, 60 yards for the Blue Raider touchdown.
And we have an injured Prep player right at the 40.
On this play, Bob, you'll see that Sykes goes to his right, but they had 4 receivers to that side. So it's an unbalanced set. Even though Prep made the adjustments to it, you'll see these guys, and there's that All-State lineman, number 62.
Tried to pick up a block, but I was going to say even before the snap, I don't see Lopez even out there. I don't even know if he was on the field for that play.
They did a nice job. Let's see. Okay. All right, 63 for Prep.
DeBilio, Robert DeBilio, the senior, number 63, limps off the field to a good hand. But not the way Prep wanted to begin this second half. And as I said, I don't even know if Lopez was on the field. Richard Sykes has picked up the slack, and John, 60 yards, breaking tackle after tackle.
Williams to attempt the extra point.
Middletown is on a mission. They extend the lead now to 28 over Scranton Prep.
28.
11-14 left in this third quarter.
46 seconds elapsed to start this.
So let's take a look at our scoreboard. Our first time tonight. We have 2 other local teams battling it out for a chance to go to Hershey in Southern Columbia at the half, leading West Catholic 28-0 down in Northern Lehigh. Over at Danville in the semifinal Class A, Trail and Juniata, it's Lackawanna Trail leading at the half, 17-14.
I spoke with Coach Jervis this week. He was really excited for his program, more importantly, his players and the school district to be the first time they've been to the state semifinals, and they're not satisfied, and they're doing a nice job getting there 17-14 at half. Southern Columbia, Bob, what?
On a mission, trying to pick up their 9th state title.
That's got to be a record in the country.
Record. Yeah.
I mean,
Garza to kick for Middletown. Janello and Greco deep to receive for Scranton Prep.
So Greco and Janello back to receive the Garza kick. 2 plays, 65 yards in 45 seconds for Middletown. Janello ripped down at the 27-yard line.
Janello on the return.
Late flag comes in.
There is a flag on the play.
Dennis Rarig, our referee tonight, and this District 11 crew.
Personal foul, face mask.
So that will give Prep good field position to begin it. Let's see where we see the face mask. I didn't see any face mask on Janello. Maybe I think it was downfield.
It was downfield.
On one of the blocks, yeah. So this will give Prep good field position up to the 45.
At this time, at this point of the game, you have to be really careful, really disciplined. You don't want to get something stupid and get thrown out for either one of these guys, because when they go to the next game, that player would not be eligible to play.
So on this Tom Hesser first down, let's see what Prep can do. Get anything on the board. They're going to go to the air. Boyle, nowhere to go. Good coverage downfield. He should get away, throw it away. He does. So good coverage downfield by the secondary.
Well, and they also had a lot of time to throw. One of the things Middletown does, which is rare to see in a high school, is they do a 4-2-5. So they're ending up playing, Bob, like a lot of nickel. They have that extra guy in the secondary that they will bring up at times to build a fifth man coming off the line of scrimmage and build that pressure.
Maybe they're expecting Prep to air it out a little bit in the second half, bringing the nickel back in.
I would venture to say being down 28-0, yes.
Pearl Dell tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Rodabaugh again. He's a senior. A lot of seniors on this Middletown team.
They are very senior heavy, and I think they are following the same mold of Southern Columbia, where most of their players, probably their starters, play maybe a little bit into the third quarter and allows those younger kids to come up.
Well, 6 years ago, Brett Myers took over his alma mater, and they went 4-6 their first year. But ever since they went to 6 classifications in the state, Middletown has been in the state championship game. Good toss to Johnson.
Screen.
He's got room. Tucker Johnson. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 15-yard lines. It's a Tom Hesser first down for Scranton Prep inside the Manuka Subaru red zone.
You'll see that Middletown was in a 3-man front this time. Great job with that screen. Outside, Tucker has blockers downfield. Those the receivers for Scranton Prep did a tremendous job stalk blocking, allowing the Scranton Prep team to get down there at the 14.
$43-yard gain, biggest play of the night for Prep. Let's see if they can put points on the board. And I think they broke the chains. Yep, there you got a little.
Yeah, the officials are inspecting it.
Got to get the links right, or something like that.
They're gonna have to take it to the trainer and get it taped. We have it.
So good play call there, and a good job by Tucker Johnson. And I don't know if they have another
Set of
first
sticks.
down stick or marker here at Bethlehem Area School District. Fred Harris, the athletic director, and the District 11 officials on hand. Now he's coming over to see Coach Myers. And the teams are going to be pulled off the field. They need to find some sticks there, Coach. You got any in your car?
I left them back at home. I apologize. I didn't realize we had to do that also, Bob.
Okay, let's take a timeout while they look for some sticks here at Bethlehem Area School District.
Good luck, Scranton Prep, on your road to the state championship. From your friends at Tom Hesser Dealerships.
Well, we're in a little bit of a holding pattern here in Bethlehem. As you can see, the first down markers have broken here. They can't get the link back on, and they're searching now for something to use for a first down marker. So we're in a stall mode here. 28-0 the score. Middletown leading Scranton Prep, but Cavaliers knocking on the door at the Raiders 14. This is going to break some momentum. But boy, what a great year for Scranton Prep. Most wins in program history. Their only hiccup, that loss to Valley View, and that was the toughest game Valley View had all year, besides the Imatep game, of course.
Well, Valley View, again, Quad A district champs. I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of that you lost to those guys. Valley View had a tremendous year, but you said Prep, this is the best year or the overall?
Yeah, overall. Yep.
Wow.
As we move on to the playoffs, Western Wayne, I think, is a team on the rise. Lakeland's very young, even though Jeff Wasilchak now has moved on.
Yes.
But they have a lot of talent coming back. Western Wayne has a lot of talent coming back as well. Montoursville, talk about talent coming back. They were almost all underclassmen. They won the District 4 title. So, Prep's going to lose a lot. They lose a quarterback. They lose a bunch up front. So, they're going to come back with a younger team. But some of those teams that they played this year, they're going to be coming back pretty strong in 2019.
Absolutely, but the thing when you build a program and you build tradition like Scranton Prep does, The expectations on these young men are going to be school. They know they're going to have to put the time in the weight room so they can continue the success that was built by the upperclassmen and all the alumni before them.
Of course, Leo Boyle going to play right now basketball at Lafayette right here in the Lehigh Valley area, just down the road in Easton. He's a Division I player, and I know Angel Kettle is waiting for him to come back. He's missing his best player. So, you know, even though Prep may lose the game, but they're down right now, but you never know what will happen. Coach Kettle should have one of the best players in the area back next week for practice.
Well, it's early in the season, and Coach K would probably say, you know what, you have a great time with football. Let's bring that state championship home to Scranton Prep.
I think we got things covered, but that leads us right into basketball. Yeah. We're kicking you out, and we're going to bring in some basketball, sponsored by NEPAbasketball.com. We start December 18th. The defending state champs in 5A, Abington Heights take on Wyoming Seminary. We'll follow that up a couple days later with some girls, and then good rivalry game in January, and another big game at Seminary, Holy Redeemer. That's a big Wyoming Valley Conference game. So if you want to see our full schedule for basketball, check out fox56.com. So after the chain delay, Prep has the ball inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. Play action. Pressure put on by O'Boyle, and he flings it, almost intercepted, but good pressure put on by the Raiders.
The Raiders on that play, they locked down that whole receiver core coming out. Leo tried going with that fake bootleg. And again, they just played man coverage in the secondary and shut the Cavaliers down.
Of course, you know, Middletown would not like to give up any points, so they shut the Prep out last year in this game. 35-0. Prep lost the year before 40-13, so I give Prep 13 points in this series so far as Ben Jones goes up for a couple yards. Third down on the way.
That play again, that was that shotgun formation with both backs there. A little misdirection.
Early on here in the third quarter, the game has slowed down a little bit. Prep in two-down territory, you would think at this point. Here comes the blitz to the end zone. Tipped at the last second by Sykes as Grady almost pulled it in. He had a chance at it, but I think Sykes might have got a little finger on it.
I think he did. On here, they went to a trips formation. Trips right. They rolled Leo to the right, throws.
Tough to tell.
Something, yeah. You saw the ball wobble there right at the very end.
Prep will, looks like gonna go for the field goal. Butner in, the placement by Patty Grady will take place at the 18-yard line, well within the distance of Butner, 28 yards. So maybe a psychological win, if anything, for Prep if they can make it. They draw him off sides?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Let's see if this changes the offense is moving on the sidelines.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Left corner Antonio O'Brien from Middletown got a little anxious out there. Broke the plane.
This is very tempting, I think, if you're Terry Gallagher. You're down 28.
28, what?
Is he going to call timeout? No, here comes the offense, and then big round of applause from the Cavalier faithful here who made the trip. They're going to go for it. Now the play clock is down to 14. You think you need a timeout here. Now you almost feel rushed, right?
Absolutely. You're down to 5 seconds at the line of scrimmage.
I think Coach Gallagher, you'll see it. Yep, timeout. No, he didn't get it. They're going to run it. And I don't know, it's going to be close. Johnson fell forward. I think he's going to be a little bit short. Now they move the chains.
The officials are pointing for Middletown. It was close.
It was close, about a half-yard short, if that.
If they used the old sticks, it could have been a first.
Maybe.
short of the line to gain. Scranton Prep turns the ball over on downs. First down and 10, Middletown, for their own 5-yard line.
So I don't know if there's something wrong with, nope, Lopez is in there. I see him in the backfield, but they have not used him a lot at all tonight. They've used the pass game and they've used Sykes. Here they go back to Lopez. He's fresh, we know that. Ripped down for a yard gain. Good job by the Prep defense.
Again, they run that run pass option when they're just doing an outside zone with him coming in there. And again, with Lopez, I think you know what he can do. So they've got a chance now, being up 28-0. Let's start working some of the other parts of our game. Example, the pass game, and let's see what Richie Sykes can do in there.
There you saw Coach Myers. He played a little football at Arkansas State. Been coaching Pottstown before coming back. There's Lopez again. Up to the 10. Third down on the way.
On that play, you'll see again, All-State returning lineman Cole Sr. does a tremendous job with his pull. What caught my eye on it was that he was ripping to his right and pulled that right elbow, which opens up his whole upper body 90 degrees to where he's got to get to, and he gets there fast.
Back to Lopez. He's going to be short of the first down. Past the 13. Here comes the punt team for Middletown.
Here we go, right here. Lopez, there's that same thing they've been doing. That's the inside zone where the offensive lineman will do a combo block, and then they read to the linebacker.
Kromko on the bottom of the pile. Williams back to punt. Prep should get good field position as Greco is back.
Greco, deep to receive for Scranton Prep.
He'll be able to return it. Not much blocking there. Gets a block and has some room. Greco spins and the ball will be at the Middletown 27.
That was a great series for the Cavalier defense to make them 3 and out, punt. On this, you'll see that he does a nice job. Good vision. Gets that in there. Number 33 gets a little chip block. Just right there, just getting in the way, not trying to knock anybody out.
From the Middletown 27-yard line.
Sykes there again. Called his name a lot tonight, Richard Sykes. He's a senior as well. Time for O'Boyle. They set up a screen to Ben Jones. Jones tripped up at the 15. It's a Tom Hester first down, gain of 12.
O'Boyle's pass is complete to Jones.
Nice play on this. Great play call. Leo O'Boyle stops. He just drops. I don't know why he jumped on that. He's 6'7", but there it is.
Middletown 14-yard line.
Prep again now in the Manuka Subaru red zone. They need to convert though. Still scoreless in this game.
And Richie Sykes, believe it or not, was the one that was on his knees that made that tackle.
Jones room. Ben Jones belted at the 5, but it's first and goal. Tom Hester first down for Scranton Prep.
Tackle by Sykes.
Nice job. The offensive line, they get that triple block on the end, looking, and they seal that up inside. And there's Mr. Sykes again that was playing pinball with him.
So they bring in fresh legs. And Ben Jones, they'll leave him in. So moving up front, no blocking. Jones is going to fall forward.
Scranton Prep lined up in a power I formation that time, and they tried to pull the right side guard up through to lead through on the power play. Middletown's right side of their defense just collapsed it down. You'll see that right here. There it goes, 79.
But again, they're not getting anybody on Joseph, and we saw that
on
again
the outside.
Yeah, on the outside. Almost like a fake it or something here. Let's see what Prep has in mind. Oh, they're going to go back to Jones. He's up to about the 2.
It's Connor James in there that's pulling. That's the 2 plays in a row. They had
Tackled by
him
Miller.
do that pull.
Unit 1 yard.
You'll see that here. They do what
Third
they
down
call a
goal,
step
Scranton
crossover
Prep.
pull as opposed to
From the
what
Middletown
Middletown
2-yard
does
line.
by turning the shoulders. They're trying to keep their shoulders parallel with the line of
You
scrimmage.
remember way back in August, the Dunmore game, Connor James got hurt. He was the center.
And now
he's
back.
back. So good to see him back. They moved Holmes over to the center position, and they've been playing pretty well. James back in there, and a timeout going to be called by the Cavaliers. So they want to talk it over.
Scranton Prep.
First timeout of the half, 5:15 remaining. It's a Keystone College timeout for Scranton Prep. And Prep has had a lot of success over the last 4 years. It all started with Nick Donato, who's actually here doing radio.
He's right next to
the
us. Yes,
longtime
Bob.
coach. Built them up. They won their first district title in 2015. They won 4 straight District 2 3A titles. Terry Gallagher took over 3 years ago. You know, Terry's only lost 4 games, I think, over that span. And that's pretty impressive in 3 years.
That's very impressive. I mean, a lot of coaches, and I'm one of them, could say, I wish I had 4 just, in a lifetime. But he's done it in a short 3-year span. And then, as I said earlier, these kids, the expectations at Scranton Prep, football specifically, are high, and they have to be for these kids to be playing where they are today in the state semifinal game.
Looking into Leo O'Boyle's eyes, what is he going to call? They're going to give it to Tucker Johnson, and Tavares is there. No room at all for Johnson. Ventura there,
Johnson on the carry.
along with Joseph.
They go to that power eye, and they just went to what we call a wham, because you got the power back, fullback leading up through. Tavares, big young man in there doing a nice job.
A loss of 1 in there.
Trayvon Joseph in there also.
From the Middletown 3-yard line.
You almost need something misdirection or something, but at this point now, who knows? You want to see Leo run tonight.
I really think, the power eye, that's what they do. Offensively, they get there. That's their red zone offense. What got them down there was that spread offense that they like to run. That also helps them.
Well, Coach Myers thinks it's pretty big. He's going to call his first time out of the half. A lot of drama here in the last 5 minutes. The chains, the timeouts.
Great play calling in terms of the screens. I personally would like to keep it spread out. Because, again, right now, Middletown has the 12th player out there with the short field and the sidelines. So I think Coach Myers, with his pride, I think he says, guys, we're not going to let them score.
Well, it's a pride thing now for Middletown.
And they want to set a high example.
We talked about it briefly a couple minutes ago, and where this is what Prep has done over the last 4 years. The 4-time district champs. They lost in the quarterfinals to this team twice.
This is
50-6 in about 4 years, and again, it all started with Coach Donato.
And Coach Donato, legend, Hall of Fame coach, and Coach Gallagher just was like a dry sponge, learning from him, and has taken what he's learned from Coach and tweaked it to his own. And look at that record, 50-6 in 4 years. Outstanding job at Scranton Prep.
Lackawanna Trail leading Juniata Valley in the third, 17-14 still. Southern Columbia is still on their mission to win another state title, looking like they may play Wilmington next Friday in a rematch of last year's final. But right here, it's the 3A semis. 4th down for Prep. Here comes the rush. They set up something over the middle, and somebody got held up. He's trying to get it to Janello, and it goes incomplete, and Middletown holds on down.
Looked like, I don't know if there was a miscommunication, quarterback, running back. Janello looked like he was supposed to go to the back of the end zone, and he stopped at the goal line, and Leo threw the ball to the back of the end zone.
Great job by the Middletown defense. And then 3 shutouts this year as Middletown.
Middletown from their own 3-yard line.
Lopez comes in late, gets the play.
They line them up at the slot position.
Moving up front. Again, the winner of this game will play either Sharon or Aliquippa in the finals next week. That'll be next Saturday, the 8th.
Well, the quips are loaded. What we've seen from Middletown, that's what they have out in the western part of the state. Tremendous job. I mean, the type of football that Pennsylvania plays is, I think, probably maybe second to Texas.
Now Middletown is going to work the clock a little bit as Ash comes up for a couple yards. And a very slow-moving clock here in the third quarter.
Well, the change, that's the first time we had a delay game for chains. Where was MacGyver when we needed him?
I think somebody ran out of the sporting goods store and picked them up. They came out of nowhere. But a beautiful facility here.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely
it's a
gorgeous.
first-class facility here in Bethlehem at Bethlehem Liberty High School. They're going to do a little end around.
Number 4 carrying the ball.
And a real late hit out of bounds, and that was Odell Green. Now some pushing and shoving.
Have to be disciplined, guys. Have to be disciplined.
Oh, some frustration maybe setting in on the Cavaliers side. It's a Tom Hesser first down. He was pushed out to 16. Is there a flag?
I didn't.
Is that the ball?
That's the ball. Chris Joseph from Middletown came in and actually started to push afterwards, and he's got to be very careful.
Late hit.
Oh.
Nope, they
On
was
the
the flag.
defense, 15 yards, first down.
Yep, they got prepped for
got
the late
that.
hit.
And it was.
Now Coach Gallagher's all the way on the field, wanting to talk to one of the referees, so this will give Middletown excellent field position after starting at their own 2 out to the 31.
First down and Middletown. They're on 31-yard line.
So you'll see on this play, here it goes, end around. Ball gets sealed. Good lead block there by Ventura.
And just missed the late hit. Ash going to go over the middle and pulled in. Nice catch by Wagner, number 14, his sophomore. Tom Hesser, first down for Middletown.
We talked about the run-pass option. That's the first time I've seen him really do that is true RPO, where he pulled it and then threw. Scott Ash does a lot of walking and talking, trying to make sure they get that right play in.
Lopez, Tucker Johnson, a couple yards for him, make it about 3 for Lopez.
Bob, you talked about this facility. Way back when, we used to have a Big 8 conference. Here you go, Scott Ash on this with that lead, just that's an inside zone.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll let the play go. Oh.
They're going to call the play, I can tell you that. He's been looking over every time.
We used to have the Big 8. I used to be at Neshaminy High School, and we would actually come up here and play Bethlehem Liberty and all those teams, and that's why they called it. There were 4 teams from Bucks County and 4 teams from this area, and they were great football games. And that's why the stadiums are as big as they are, because they would get 10,000 people on a Friday
absolutely.
night.
2 big schools, Freedom and Liberty, share this. They're both 6A schools, I believe, aren't they?
And then it was, back then it was Allentown, Deeruff also.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember what the 4th school was.
Allentown Allen?
Yes.
So Prep trying to get off the field now. Get that offense back on. Little draw. Lopez stiff arms. Picks up a Tom Hesser first down, is ridden out of bounds inside Cavalier territory at the 44. Gain of about 9 for Lopez.
Brought down by Prep's Matt Para. That little draw action, they had pushed everybody to the right, and Lopez comes to the left.
It's the part of the game where they haven't really run Lopez a lot. He's going to be a little bit have more fresher legs, and he's going to hit that hole pretty quick.
I'm just curious if Coach is going to start subbing all the younger kids in, because he knows right now he's going to the state finals.
Play action down the middle to Sykes. This time Para Adams. Maybe Ash saw that and overthrew Sykes.
He definitely overthrew him on that play. You'll see that he sets up. He's got time. Good release, good ball. Talking with Middletown's coach during the week, one of the things he's really proud of is that he has a quarterback camp, and it's actually run by the quarterbacks. His senior quarter, Scott Ash, was out there. The kids get together in February, and then they do a running back and then an offensive line camp throughout the course of the year.
Lopez. Johnson finally takes him down. He was, instead of going north to south, he was going more east and west. Gain of 9. Be short of the first, I think.
Outside zone, he squeezes up through, and he's just a strong young man. Takes 2 Prep defenders to get him down.
He's gained almost 2,800 yards in 2 years. Again, Division I schools obviously looking at him.
And then you have Richie Sykes in the backfield, who really hasn't had a chance to run too much when you have Jose Lopez in front of you.
It was a Tom Hesser first down for the Raiders. Give it to Sykes again. Really using that stiff arm tonight. Velarde, you saw, tripped him up out of bounds. This will be another personal foul against the Cavaliers.
That's just so uncharacteristic of Scranton Prep right now. I know their frustration level is really high.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense. Half the distance, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So, remember, this drive started on the 3-yard line.
And that's 30 yards in penalties just in this drive alone.
So Middletown inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. Again. Running down this third quarter clock. Play action. First time tonight, we ripped down
51.
Jake Abley rips him down, first sack of the night. The junior, his 5th sack of the season.
They do that RPO, and again, on this one, the secondary of the Cavaliers did a great job shutting it down. So there was no option for him to throw.
Yeah, Middletown doesn't huddle up. Ash will get the signal, come in and spread the word. Out to Ventura. He drops it, third down now on the way. More importantly, it stops the clock.
It does. On that play, Ventura lined up at a tight slot left, motions across, and they just tried to get that quick slip screen out to him.
Third down and 22.
Couple score updates quickly. Lackawanna trail, boy, 10-point lead now in the fourth quarter, 24-14. The Lions looking to go to their first state title game. Southern Columbia big now, 42-6. Ball's on the turf, and it's recovered by Scranton Prep and Velarde at the 30. So a good break there for the Cavaliers.
On the speed sweep, just a total miscue. And again, coach is really going to be upset with that because that's just basic techniques right there that the kids they didn't execute. There wasn't a bad snap. It wasn't wet. It's not raining. Let's see what Leo's got ready to roll.
Single coverage, man-to-man on the outsides. O'Boyle looking, going to throw it deep. Trying to get Grady. Grady's got it, and Grady's gone. 70-yard Manuka Subaru touchdown for Michael Grady, and Prep's on the board.
Bob, you said it about the single cover. You kept alluding to that all game. Coach Pasqualiccio must have heard you and dialed that one up for you, Coach. They were in a slot formation on that one, and it was just a 9 pattern, which is a go route. It's just a streak. And Leo did a tremendous job placing that ball for Dan to get right underneath of that for that touchdown.
Sixth touchdown of the year for Grady. Butner's kick, and it is up and through. So with 27 seconds left in the third quarter, Prep cuts the lead to 21.
So you'll see, look at Leo on this one. Great time, great precision. And Michael Grady, I mean, boom, right there. There was grill tight coverage. He did fall, but that was a tremendous job. That'll get the Cavaliers torqued up now.
Well, let's see. The defense hasn't played horrible. They got a couple breaks.
Well, again, take
out the personal fouls on that last one.
Yeah,
right?
30 yards, and then take away. And again, not that we can take away that muffed punt at the first quarter. So Prep's not out of it, and I think Coach Gallagher and the Prep faithful they know that, so they're going to fight to the very end.
Again, a very long third quarter.
It was, and these guys again. The kids are tired. They spent all day in school, and now it's going on 9 o'clock, and we're still getting ready to start the fourth quarter.
Well, let's see if this wakes up Middletown at all. Too early to go for onside?
No. Hey, stay final. What
happened in the Super Bowl, right?
Hey,
Sean Payton did it in the Super Bowl, right to begin the second half, didn't he?
He did. He did. I mean. Pull out all the stops and look at Middletown. They're set up for it.
That they are. But Butner has a good leg. Lopez back really at his 5. I don't know if they'll try to squib it into him.
Drop it right around the 20-yard line.
Remember, it's still a live ball if it gets dropped in. And they do. They pooch it. Short kick, and they're just going to fall on it at the 33. That was actually the quarterback, Ash, out there.
Yep,
and
with top or bottom.
Kickoff is covered by Ash.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Keystone College. With over 40 degree options, small class sizes, and Division III athletics, plus football, you can believe, belong, become.
Well, Prep's defense has been out there a long time. Middletown's going to send out trips to the left. Taking a lot of time off the clock. This is Lopez. Looks like they have him out there. Contained. Don't want to hit him out of bounds. He'll actually lose about a yard or two. Let's see, at the 30, loss of 3.
Bob, it looked to me like he was almost going to stop and throw a pass. The way he was coming down, the way he had that ball, he didn't really have it tucked. He had it up more like a quarterback running an option.
Clock stops because he went out of bounds. Good containment from Prep. Lopez again. A lot of white shirts there. Gain of 1. That should take us to the end of the third quarter. Well, does Prep have 21 points to get back in this one? Well, they have 1 quarter left to knock off Middletown. At the end of 3, It's the Blue Raiders 28, the Cavaliers 7.
That is the end of the third quarter play.
This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
You're watching Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in Bethlehem. Bob Ide, Jan Cechek, Paul Grippy. Fourth quarter just about getting a start, 28-7. Prep scored late in the third. And now third down, they're going to stop Middletown, and the punt team will come back on.
Prep player down
And
right
Tucker
now.
Johnson, he's getting beat up. He was beat up last week. I mean, he plays at a high speed, a high level, and now he's getting more carries on the offensive side and getting hit more. Boy, he's a tough kid, though.
And he's only a junior.
He's only a junior. So an opportunity here for the Cavaliers. You mentioned they got close to him in the first half.
Greco, deep to receive.
Jenko.
He did. He came
Greco
right up
back. Greco back to receive. Low snap. Greco will have time to receive it. Pulls it in and wisely falls down.
Greco calls for the fair catch.
So on to the 26. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back. The Tom Hesser first down. Beginning of this series,
First
Prep
down and
at
10,
their own
Scranton
27.
From their own 27.
A little momentum, though, I think, with the Cavaliers here. They get it out to number 2, pulls it in. Brendan Colleran.
Just a quick hitter. And again, they're playing a softer coverage, but they have sound tackling. That was number 22.
Gain of 6. Again, now that's Sykes, the safety, playing back a little bit. They pick up the pressure. Look quick out to Greco. Tom Hesser first down. Clock stops up to the 43.
Playing a little pitch and catch right now. Again, the way Middletown's playing soft coverage on them, Leo O'Boyle, I think, will pick them apart if that's what they're going to give them.
We got good protection too, and that's where it starts, right, Coach?
And they did bring number 40. Gage came flying in there, but they picked it up. They are the O-line. We've said this year, every game, it's all up to them.
Here comes the blitz, and they're going to stop it.
There's a flag on the play.
Full start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Called against Scranton Prep. 5-yard penalty. First down and 15.
So a mistake there from the Cavaliers. Let's see how much it hurts them. Still a Tom Hesser first down.
Both teams have taken the timeout early in the third quarter.
Of course, that third quarter took forever. The change. Here comes the blitz.
There's a flag on the play.
Another flag, and this is going to be offsides, I think. Now.
Prior to the snap, dead ball, encroachment, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Wow.
Encroachment. Called against the defense.
Well, we tell our defensive linemen we would like to have a credit card space between the ball and you. So I guess they might have overextended their credit on that one just by a nose or something. So that's just okay. We traded back and forth, and now we're back at 1st and 10.
Still first down.
Still a Tom Hesser first down.
Yeah, the clock is stopped. Here Here comes the blitz again. They pick it up. They go downfield looking for Greco, and O'Boyle just overthrew him. Guess who's out there? Mr. Lopez on the coverage.
Well, on that play, there was a lot of pressure in Leo's face on this one. They brought 6 guys on the pressure.
He had him. He had 2 receivers down there. Just missed Greco. So second down, clock stop again. The protection, though, was holding up.
It is, and the offensive linemen are picking up those blitzes very well.
Is it too late, though? We're in the fourth quarter. They're down 21. Again, there's the outside blitz. Trying to set up a middle screen. Actually, to Ben Jones, it looked like.
It was. They're just bringing that pressure from the outside. And again, with the screen, you would like to have a 3-second count, so that way you allow that defense to come in. But they came in so fast, that play was dead at the start.
Quick update. Congratulations to Southern Columbia. They're moving on. They beat West Catholic tonight 42-6. Looks like they will take on Wilmington next Friday at 1.
Southern Tigers are rolling.
There you see the scoreboard. Hey, Lackawanna Trail, we saw them this year. Looks like they may be headed to a Thursday game. Here comes the rush again. They get it over the middle. Back to Grady, pulls it in. It's a Tom Hesser first down, and the ball is up to the Middletown 31-yard line.
On this play, again, here's Leo. Great job, offensive line. The running backs picked up the blitz. He delivers a strike in there for another first down.
23-yard gain.
Gain of 20 yards. First down and 10, Scranton Prep. From the Middletown 37-yard line.
Prep has to show a little more urgency, I think.
At this point, yeah, let's get moving.
Just a little bit. Doing a nice job, O'Boyle. Gets it out, clock will keep rolling.
O'Boyle's pass is complete to Colleran.
Out to Colleran, the junior.
Joseph.
Gain of about 4.
Gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6.
On this play, again, the quick out to Colleran, trying to get out of bounds, and then number 22, Chris Joseph, stops him, keeps him in bounds, keeps that clock running.
O'Boyle with room. Strong arm. Is it caught? They're going to say it is. Nice catch down there by Odell. Just inside the 20 to the 16. Gain of 15 for Scranton Prep.
On this play, Leo O'Boyle's checking, 1-2, went through his progression, starts rolling out, trying to keep the play alive, and strings it and throws that. Nice job.
Tom Hesser first down inside the Manuka Subaru red zone.
On the Middletown 17-yard line.
Again, protection. Probably a wise decision by Leo. Greco was covered pretty well. Just threw it into the ground.
They were running a switch pattern at the top towards us with the receivers. The outside receiver comes in, the inside receiver goes out. He was trying to hit that inside receiver, and he just, again, it was covered, and he threw it into the ground. Smart play.
If you're a Prep fan at home, you're wondering, where has this been all game? But Middletown maybe's playing different defense. I mean, it was a lot different in the first half.
Sense of urgency on Middletown right now is they're thinking, we got this game. Maybe a little bit overconfident, overzealous at this point.
They get it out to Grady, pulls it in. The clock will roll. They're at the 10.
Another out pattern. And Bob, to answer your question, I think they're now the Cavaliers, now their sense of urgency, let's get this done. Let's go.
They can pick up a first down inside the 10. They're inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. Clock is ticking, though, here in the fourth quarter. Well, trying to hit Greco.
And Greco is pleading his case to the official that as he was running across, he was dragging across the middle of the field. There was a little jersey hold, but they're going to let them play.
You can't let them not catch the ball, though. They're
Yeah,
going to let them play,
I
but
agree with
there's
you,
a
Bob.
difference, right?
Let them play, and then you still have to do your job out there.
So 4th down on the way for Prep. They need a long 3 for a first. Expect Middletown maybe to bring the heat. They do.
They do.
They get it out over the
Brought
middle.
up
and they should have a first down. Nice catch by Janello. 1st and goal for Scranton Prep at the 6.
That's a great job by the running back and the offensive lineman picking that up, allowing Bryce Janello to catch that first down.
4 yards. First down and goal, Scranton Prep from the Middletown 6-yard line.
This is where Prep has had trouble tonight. They inside deep in Middletown territory.
And if you notice, maybe they listened to what we were saying. They're keeping them spread out now.
Over the middle, and it's
touchdown.
Caught. He dropped it, but they're giving him the touchdown. Let's see now. The referees are going to talk.
The ref.
They said it is. It's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for Scranton Prep. Was that Janello who pulled it in?
Yes.
Well, number 1. So a 6-yard touchdown, 3-yard touchdown. And Prep cuts the lead in half with this extra point.
Great job. The pressure on the backside. It was number 2. That was Brendan Colleran for the touchdown.
Colleran?
I stand corrected.
Butner for the extra point is good. It's a 14-play drive. It goes 77 yards. It's going to be 73 yards.
And they used about 3.5 minutes of the clock.
Off the clock.
14.
Well, the Middletown faithful not used to seeing this. They're getting a little anxious out there.
Well, this might be remnants of last week against Commonwealth Egan when they were up 14-0. And then Egan came back and Middletown won 21-14. So,
well, what do you do on the kick now? That's the question. You're the coach.
At this point in time, I would have to kick it deep. Or I'd actually, like I said earlier, the 20, the way that their coverage is, there's no one there at that spot. So maybe try to get your faster guys down there and say, look, that's a live ball, pooch it over his head. Lopez is really deep, so.
Butner has a good leg.
And if they pin them in deep and then get 3 and out and force them to punt, they're going to be in really good shape.
He kicks it very deep, as I said, into the end zone. So it's a touchback, and it's a good way to keep Lopez from keeping his hands off.
And I didn't realize his leg was that strong. Wow, that's.
He did it last week a couple times. He did it last week. So let's take a look at Middletown this year, and we talked about their only loss to Bishop McDevitt. McDevitt's still playing some football here in the postseason. Down in that league, we talked about the bigger schools they play.
Yeah, and McDevitt is one of those schools that is a 5A school, and they ended up having. I talked to Coach about that loss, and he thought his kids were getting a little bit too cocky at the beginning of the season. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and it brought them back down to reality.
Bobbled in the backfield and brought down quickly. That's Green, the sophomore.
Green on the carry.
No gain on the play.
Jacob Kenny on that stop, doing a great job from his linebacker's position.
Now, if you're Middletown, you want to take the clock as far down as you can.
They're going to take their time getting these plays off.
Give it to Lopez. He's got some room. Into the secondary, and he could be gone. Reedy, the only man to beat. He's not going to get him. This one may be sealed for the Raiders. It's a Manuka Subaru touchdown for Jose Lopez. 80 yards.
On this play, they just, Prep's defense, they had 9 guys, actually 10 guys in the box, and then their free safety stepped up, and Lopez just went right up over him.
He's had 2 big plays, and they've both gone for touchdowns.
That's why he's got over 2,000 yards this year.
Showing a lot of speed there, and Middletown maybe headed to another state title game.
Very reminiscent, as I was saying, of last week's game with Middletown. Again, a close game. Give the ball to your best player. Put it in his hands, literally.
Your score, Middletown 35, Scranton Prep 14.
Well, we talked about Prep, and we talked a little bit about Middletown. A 4-year record, 47-7, but really since 2016, they've only lost 3 games. Two of those were in the state finals.
So, you know, Coach has done a tremendous job down there. He was talking to me about the culture in Middletown. It started at the top with their superintendent, their school board. They don't want just football players. They want well-rounded student athletes that represent the community and the district at a high expectation. And he said earlier also, I was talking about how his quarterbacks do that camp with the younger kids, the running backs. I mean, the entire community is bought into this program, and you look at the results of what they're doing, and they're not satisfied with that record, Bob, at all.
Well, they'll have a tough game next week as well. But congratulations to Steve Jervis and the Lackawanna Trail Lions. They will play in their first ever state title game next Thursday at 1 o'clock against Faro. They beat Juniata Valley tonight 24-14.
Congratulations, Coach Jervis. I'll tell you, he's done a tremendous job there at Trail.
And it really started with Jeff Wasilchak, and then Jervis has taken it to the next level.
And Steve, yeah, with that wing tee that he runs in there, and
the ball will go back to the end zone. It should be a touchback.
Yep.
But the Lions going to play next Thursday.
Good luck, Scranton Prep, on your road to the state championship from your friends at Tom Hesser Dealerships.
Well, the Cavaliers had some momentum there. 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Lopez kind of squashed that with his 80-yard run and did a good job containing him all night long. And in fact, Middletown went away from Lopez. Sykes had a nice run as well. So Prep going to still hang in there, going to go out to a great pass and a huge hit by Lopez. It was in bounds. I know the Prep faithful want that out of bounds, but Halloran, pulled it in.
They step up right on here. Excuse me. And he just, 21 has him, and then Lopez just finished him off with that.
So that was a Tom Hesser first down. Going downfield, in and out of the hands of Carter Odell. And a late flag comes in. He was pushed by Rodenbaugh a little late after the play ended. So this will be a personal foul on Middletown.
And again, I talked earlier about you have to be disciplined out there. The ball, it was incomplete. There was really no need for that. If he gets another one of those, he's out for next week.
Play. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Defense.
Yeah, Coach Myers is not going to like that. I know you want your kids to play tough, but...
And you want them to play hard, but again, when there was no reason for that, you'll see it right here. And it was well after that he dropped the ball, so.
And Odell had it, too. Well, that puts the ball right near midfield. 6:46 left.
Leo O'Boyle had plenty of time to throw that ball, and that's a credit to the offensive line.
I mean, there's still colleges looking at O'Boyle, Division I, even though he's signed for basketball. I know some big schools love to have a 6'7" quarterback who can throw the ball like this.
And that's what a lot of colleges, we call it the eye test. You look at a kid and you're just sizing him up. And they could say to him, you know what, we could put 40 pounds on you, make you a great defensive end, tight end, because he's a great athlete and he's a smart kid.
I know Lafayette doesn't want to hear that.
No. Maybe their football coach does.
Out to Jones, tackled by Joseph. About 8 yards on the play.
Gain of 8 yards. Second down and 2.
He's got protection. Gets it out to Jones, who makes a cut. Ben Jones, another Tom Hesser first down up to the 31.
Royals pass, split to Jones.
Ben Jones does a nice job coming out of the backfield. He's the check down. He's there. I would have loved to see him spin to the outside. He made him juke, just get to the outside, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Well, Boyle nowhere to go, and he's going to be wrapped up by Cole Sr. An 8th sack of the season, his first tonight.
Paul Ruddy on this one just got beat to the outside. He turned his shoulders, which allowed the defensive end to come in there untouched pretty much. And that would have been Joe Gussler and Cole Sr. in there, the All-State lineman.
Loss of about 9 on that one. Caught by Grady inside the 30 at the 29. Gets about 11 back on that, maybe 12.
See Leo Stetz drops. Ball was thrown a little bit low and inside, but that was a great concentration to get that 11 yards back.
It's a good job by Grady to turn around and say, I caught it.
I got it. That's right.
So 3rd down. Yes, I mean, an incomplete pass and a big hit by Rodabaugh on Colleran.
Gage Rodabaugh, I'll tell you what, Coach could not speak about how hard this kid plays, and you can see how hard he hits on this one. Boom, he just stuck that shoulder right in there and had his nose right on the ball, and that's why that popped out.
Yeah, one thing I noticed in pregame, just I would say how built they are, but they definitely get in the weight room. You see Coach Myers definitely has them in the weight room at Middletown. They're some big, tough kids.
I mean, when you look and you say your middle linebackers are only 175 pounds, but it's a great break on the ball there.
Good break by Bryant, and Middletown will take over on down, I believe.
Yep.
So Prep unable to do anything on that drive. 4:20 until the Blue Raiders return to Hershey. Prep has put up a good fight all night. They've had their opportunities.
They have.
Inside the red zone, and this, give credit to Middletown's defense.
Their defense is, Middletown's defense has stepped up very hard when they had to.
There's Lopez zigzagging through.
Lopez on the carry.
Stopped by Bellardi.
One of the things I noticed about Jose's Lopez's running style, he's a patient runner. He's got speed, he's got strength, but he will wait until he sees that little bit of opening and he takes it. And that was a prime example of that last play.
Middletown going to take the clock down. It's a movement, and that will stop it, and they were moving up front.
False start.
Well, it's stuff for Coach Myers to look on film. Some mistakes in the second half. They let their guard down to Middletown a little bit. Give credit to Prep, though.
Oh, absolutely. And again, like I remember that speed sweep where it was just very sloppy. The way that the pressure that Scranton Prep was getting to their quarterback and forcing some bad throws. They've got their work cut out for them for next week. And Prep will be getting ready. I'm sure Coach Gallagher will give them about 2 weeks off and get them ready.
Yeah, they'll have a route to replace Will Prep, but again, the program is on the upswing. The numbers are there, so that's a good sign.
And the way that they played all season, here we go. Just that inside zone, and that look at.
And there's one of those guys.
That's one of the younger guys.
No, that's T.J. Holmes.
Oh, T.J. Holmes. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, was it 62?
I thought it was. Well, yeah.
It was Kropko or Holmes?
It was Holmes on that stop.
An all-region player, Holmes. Velarde, an all-region type player. Prep will bring in a new quarterback next year. Most likely grading. They'll lose some wideouts. Will Prep a bunch of seniors. They have some linemen back. Got some playing time this year because they had some blowouts.
And they did. And that's one thing that they can afford to say, that it's not just we're starting fresh. They have kids that have experience, game experience.
And they'll get game experience as both teams have sent in the backups. Oh, actually, they sent in the punt team. That was a quick 3 and outs, as we were talking.
Yes, we were.
So I apologize for that.
There's that block I was
talking. Blocked by Prep. They can't pick it up though, but they'll have it at the 15.
One of the things Middletown probably hasn't done a whole lot this year is punt.
I think it was Jacob Kenny who got in on it. 39.
Yeah, and that's what I said earlier. He came in first quarter doing that. There it is, a block.
Just couldn't get the hop for Janello. If he picked it up, he would have taken it in for a touchdown. Instead, Prep will have it at the Middletown 15.
First down and 10, Scranton Prep from the Middletown 15-yard line.
Gets it out to Jones. Jones. No, they're not going to say he got out of bounds. They're going to keep the clock rolling. Up to the inside the 6.
Complete to Grady. Tackle by Bryant.
Ben Jones has had a nice game. A lot of pressure put on him in the semifinal game, and he's risen to the occasion.
He scored 2 touchdowns last week against Montoursville. He hasn't got a lot of playing time this year. But with Ryan Cosgrove going out, Tucker Johnson was getting hurt. They needed someone to step in. He's a senior.
And he's done a great job.
In and out of the hands, almost intercepted by Green. That will stop the clock, and they're inside the Manuka Subaru red zone. 1 yard away from a first down.
One of the rare underclassmen for Middletown, a sophomore, Odell Green, 5'9", 160. And he's broken up 2 plays like that. He's got very good feet, and his hands get out there, and he's quick to cover.
And Senior gets in there. You know, you see the quickness
Jones on the carry.
of Cole Senior and why he comes in with 27 tackles for a loss.
That kind of play, that's what earns you all-state honors like he's received.
Well, Prep takes their timeout. Well, we had a nice season. Didn't have a lot of close games in the long run, but we had some good games along the way, including that trail game where Old Forge beat them.
And that was because of a hurdle.
Yeah, that was yes. Yeah.
That was the difference.
Yeah,
Trail would have been undefeated.
Yeah.
Northeast Pennsylvania football being well represented in the state and even central Pennsylvania with Southern Columbia. We've covered them through my TV. And these guys, I tell you what, Northeast PA is strong in the football pride that they have up here.
I know you weren't at it, but we start out with a bang. That Loyal-Sock-Danville game may have been the best game of the year.
You and Coach Kaharski,
Back and forth.
you guys must have had at least a gallon of water because you guys were talking. There was so much scoring in that game.
Oh, boy.
You guys worked that night.
It was good to see Valley View have a nice run, a great team there.
Coach Awanitz has done a tremendous job there. That's what I mean. You just look and go, there's not really a weak league up there.
To Greco, it is a Manuka Subaru touchdown for Scranton Prep. On 4th down, it was an 8-yard pass.
You know, I know there's people out there like, what's the big deal that, you know, they're losing, and this is about pride right now. These are young men, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and they want to show, hey, Scranton Prep, we have a lot of pride. We're going to fight to the very last second.
Well, if that is the last pass of Leo O'Boyle's career,
not a bad way to end your career.
I know you don't. As a team, though, you want to win.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the way he liked it. But this is a kid who, as Butler's going to put it up and through, there's a kid on O'Boyle who went to St. Paul's and Greenridge, was a basketball kid, never played football. They got him out to the team. Coach Donato developed him. Coach Pasqualiccio brought him to the next level, and 2,000-yard passer. You know?
and he's a very modest young man. And I remember meeting him for the first time at the media day. And he said to me point blank, he said, you know, Coach, I have basketball coaches that say don't play football. And he said, I love this game, and I love my teammates, and I'm going to do what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And to see that type of determination and grit in a young man that knows what he wants to do. And like you said earlier, he could get a football scholarship.
Oh, he easily get a.
He has a basketball scholarship.
Yeah.
But it's assuring to see young men like this that know what they want to do. And he's going to, I mean, again, he's going to be a leader.
Another kid is Butner, number 40, and force sport athlete. Plays on the soccer team.
Okay.
Kicks, wrestles, and is on track and field. And carries the prep load in the classroom. Which is not easy. Trust me, I know. Okay, looks like Prep's going to set up for onside kick with 48 seconds left. Down 14.
And they have one timeout, too, so.
Butner to kick for Scranton Prep. Lopez deep to receive for Middletown.
Oh, they get it right to Wagner. The sophomore hauls it in, and that should just about do it. Prep put up a good fight against the top team in the state. In Middletown, all they have to do is take a knee, and that should just about do it.
On their own 49-yard line.
And you know, one of the big supporters of Leo O'Boyle was the basketball coach, who said, "Go play football and do what you want." And Andrew Kettle made that very clear throughout the years. He's never said, "Don't play football." So,
and you know, that's probably one of the reasons why Prep is successful in all their athletic programs. That all the coaches are there because they know they have a limited number of kids. And people say, oh, it's not fair, Prep, they go and recruit. You know what?
No.
Their workload, if a kid chooses to go to Scranton Prep, they've got their work cut out for them.
Yep. Every coach wants and all players to be happy and play multi-sports, and that's what college coaches want to see. You know, you don't want to hold anybody back. So a great season ends for Scranton Prep. The best season in history of the football team will end with another loss to Middletown. But it was a fantastic year for the Cavaliers, who will end it 13-2. Middletown will return to the state finals.
Thank you for your attendance. Please arrive home.
And congratulations to the Raiders. Paul Gribby's going to try and get Coach Gallagher, and it's not an easy thing to say. Coach probably going to thank all of his players, and Paul is ready now with Coach Gallagher. And Paul, a great season for Scranton Prep. Didn't end the way they wanted.
Okay, Coach Gallagher, your team was in a hole here, 28-0. They didn't quit. I was impressed. What did you think of their play in the second half?
Our kids always play hard. I didn't think we played very smart a couple times in the first half. I thought we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. Obviously, I'd like to have some of those opportunities back. There's a couple times where I thought we had one or two kids rallied around each other, and I don't know if he just slipped off or whatever it may be. But I thought our kids played pretty good. I mean, defensively, I thought we played pretty good for the most part. Here and there, there's a couple things before the half. Just kind of, it was one of those things that you just shoot yourselves in the foot. It was a coverage that we knew what they were going to do, and we just made a mistake. And it's part of the game. Guys make mistakes, and I thought our kids battled, our kids fought. We have really good kids, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity, to get ourselves back here next year, and just got to keep working. We just got to work harder. So I got to work. It starts with me, so I got to work harder.
You won another district championship, a terrific season. What will you take away from this with the team?
Obviously it's the opportunity that you can get there. It's now just getting over the hump a little bit. They're a really good football team. They have a lot of really skilled kids. You saw the speed that they have. I thought we played pretty well. We don't have that speed, but I thought our kids, manned up, did what they had to do. Just hopefully we get the opportunity, and we'll get here next year or whenever we get back here, and hopefully we can win the game.
All right, Coach. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Congratulations on a great season. Prep's not gonna be happy about this result tonight, but they will be proud when they think about the season.
Yeah, in 5 years when they all get back together, they'll reflect on what a great season it was, and they just couldn't get over that hump of beating a very good Middletown who's been on the rise, and you run into that one team every year, and that's what happens.
And they're going to, and Bob, I'm going to piggyback what you just said. In 5 years, they're probably going to see Mr. Lopez playing somewhere. Again, he's going to be going Division I, and these kids are going to say, you know what, we played against him, and these guys from Prep can say, hey, I stopped him on this play. So tremendous job for Scranton Prep, and good luck to Middletown. Hopefully they get their first state win
next week, and they'll either play again Sharon or Aliquippa, and they're actually playing tomorrow out in Western PA. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our Friday Night Rivals crew. What a great season it was. A great job by the crew setting up, breaking down the pictures you see, the producing you see, the audio you get, the graphics you get, the camera people, all did a great job. Too numerous to name, but make sure you take a look at their names when we roll the credits. It's all thanks to them.
It is.
We talk, but really they do all the work.
And they do a great job presenting our teams from Northeast PA in a great, great way.
Well, we'll be back next year. Basketball's right around the corner right here on MyTV on high school hoops, but Friday Night Rivals will return next year. There's the final score, but congratulations to Scranton Prep again on a fantastic season. Good night, everyone.
This is Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.